I love how my last day of live deck profile was literally yesterday, and the banners came out around 4 to 5 a.m. And now I'm here for an updated list on all my decks. So yeah, let's get started. Now starting with the two decks that's basically never haven't changed. For example, the Fujimi deck is probably gonna be the same. Nothing's changed much, and the only thing that's gonna be changed is this card. I'll probably replace it for the free fetcher because I might need this for the a standby deck that will probably gonna be having a significant change in the future, and I will give you an in-depth deck profile on it when it happens. So we're just gonna be taking these away for now. The next deck that haven't been touched is the tohka waifu. So this video is going to be dedicated to these two decks, the a standby and the book standby. So without further ado, let's get on to these two deck profile. Well, then again, you're asking me, why am I not doing this as a separate video? Because I don't really want to do a deck profile for one deck if there's not a significant change. So far, these two have changes caters to the ban list, but not that significant for me to do an in-depth deck profile on its own. Just in case where you guys were wondering which cards were restricted or which cards I had to choose from, is the Kuromi, the 1-0 assist tohka, and the events. I had to choose one of these three. Now that you know, let's go on to deck profile. The first deck profile is going to be the 8, the standby, and the book. Now, this is not going to be depth. I'm just going to quickly glance over the cards because if you want to have an in-depth deck profile, I'll link it down below, both the 8 standby and the book standby. You can compare it to this deck update, see which cards we're taking out, which cards I prefer for it. And there will be explanations on why I choose some cards over one of these cards over the other two. So for the level zeros, standard 4 of Yoshinos, instead of running 3 clean cuts this time, I'm running 4. And I took out the top 2 brainstorm for the top self brainstorm. The main reason why I ran the top 2 brainstorm was because I had the 1-0 tohka in the deck. The plan with the 1-0 tohka was to play it on the same turn that I had my 1-0 combo in hand, which is this. Right. This is essentially going to be a free 9k if I choose to pump 1k here and 1500 here, because it gains extra 500 to the end of your opponent's turn, and it gains 2k if you can show 2 other characters. So 6-5, 7-5, 8-5, 10k essentially, and then counter will be 12k. So one total can be as big as 12k. With this card gone, and I prefer the level 3 more than these two, because this builds K-Source to compression fast and mill through your deck fast and get your hands ready for this card. Even though this is a good utility card, and this basically want me to have a free Yuki, a 1-0 Yuki, 1-0 Silicate essentially, because I'm wanting my opponent with a 1-0 that can mill through my deck. But with the choose one of 3 in effect, I chose the finisher over these two, which is why I'm taking out the top 2 for the top self brainstorm instead. Now that you know, let's continue on to the deck profile. 2 of the clock bomb suiciders, and when your opponent play a climax, send this to stock. Once again, I don't really feel the need to play this event anymore. Well, I can't play the event because of the 3-2 I'm running, right? And the stock bomb, the only reason why that's there is because of having given me more yellows for this. That's now I'm running 3 yellow brainstorms. It is more than enough yellows for my level 3. So I'm replacing it for this card for more stock compression. Other level zeros, including these 2 Shidos. These 2 Shidos are not the best level zeros, and it's one of the worst Rikis I ever played, but it's a good merit because if you're not running the Zozo Kurumi that rests out to do yourself 2 damage, this is gonna be a decent option because I don't play a Mills 2. If you hit a climax, palm 1500 to someone, right? And when this card gets reversed, dish a card and put in your clock and search a level 1 or lower. No, it doesn't search a level 1 lower, right? I believe, yeah, it does search a level 1 lower because it's like all reverse Ricky, so it's fine card because it also mills, right? One of the Kotori's, one of the TD Toga, the Cowgirl, and put the Climate Swapper, right? Pretty much self-explanatory. Once again, I'm not going to glance over their effects because I did them already in my in-depth deck profile, which I'll leave it in the description below. Leave the link in the description, so make sure to check that out. Comments combos, 4 of these Togas level 1 combo. Still keeping it as this. And 3 streams to Togas, along with this 1 card. Now I'm still testing out this card, this tech card. Right now I'm iffy about it. If I don't like it, I would be running out 4 of these. If you don't know what this card is, basically a level 1 Mikasa. So what you can do is pay 1, choose one of your characters, send it to back row, well, basically switch positions. And this is a anti-aerial play bomb, bottom deck. And it's also a 1/1, which is why I'm iffy about. So if I don't like this card, I will replace it for a 4th copy of this. And the last level ones, the 2 counters, the anti-cheat counter and the 2K assists. And finally, we have the level 2s, the 2/1 anti-bomb, free fetch, still 2 of the stock standby targets is fine. And the choose 1 and 3, I chose the Kurumi over these 2. I kind of already glanced over why I'm not running this anymore, mainly because this was in the deck before, and because many of these 2. Since I'm not running this, there's no point in me running that. So there's a real explanation. 4 of the Kurumis, still 2 assists, still 2 early plays, still the 1 Yoshino, and the final level 2 added is this Kurumi. On play heal, gains 1500 if you control 2 or others. Also, on attack, pay 3 dish 1, mill the bottom 5 cards of your opponent, burn X equal to the climax milled. Moving on to a standby. Once again, this is not gonna be in depth. I just kind of gonna glance over the cards I'm running still, and etc. Right now, this is the biggest. It's still gonna be a standby now. This is gonna be probably one of the decks that's gonna have the biggest change because I'm still iffy about a standby right now, seeing how the 1/0 choosing the 1/0 over the Kurumi. I really do like the 1/0 better than the Kurumi for this type of build, so I might do a change here there and probably go make an in-depth deck profile on the newly updated version of this deck if I chose to like that build better than the current version is. So right now it's staying the same, but in the future it's gonna change a lot. So do keep in mind there's gonna be an in-depth deck profile from this in the future. Now, once again, I'm not gonna do an in-depth deck profile on this, what the previous decks I've shown, because once again I already did it. So there's gonna be a link. You can check it out and compare it. Right? I will be only covering the effects of the new cards I added, not the old ones. So, anyways, 4 of these runners. Now, these runners will probably be replaced by my Yoshino runners, right? Mainly because there's a card finisher I want to try out, and I do need the necessary color for it. So these 4 might be replaced by this in the future. For runners, added the triple Akatsuki's replacing the Shido because Spoiler, I am running the Kurobi endgame for now, and I'm not allowed to run these two. So, yeah, if I'm not running the event, there's no point in me running the Shido, right? So, for reverse Akatsuki's, bumping up the number of these Kotoris, the salvage unplayed Kotoris, to 3. Still keeping the top 2 brainstorms. Might change this to the top self in the future, just in case, just to try out the new build, or I might keep it the same, right? Still the same double cowgirl, and still keeping the stock bomb. And then for the final zeros, the climax swapper. For the level ones, instead of 3 silicas, I'm running 4 now, putting an extra 2k counter and the level 1 anti-change, and that's going to be it for the level 1s. For the level 2, still running the climax target, the standby target, putting up the refresh to 2, 1 stock bomb, and the level 3 is going to be 4 Kurumis once again. And then we have an additional early play. Instead of running 2 this time, I'm running 3. And it's still the same number of these Kurumis, and it's still the same number of the Kotoris, the assist Kotoris. Now for the Kurumis, I'm really thinking about re-adding either this card or this card. By taking out the Kurumi, I might play this finisher instead. It's a rare finisher. On play, check top 3, add card. Also, when this card attacks, your opponent can use backup, so it's decent, and it gains like 1k, I believe. Climax combo on attack. If I have 4 or more other characters, it gains 1k. Also, it mills the bottom 4 cards of your opponent's deck, and then burn XML climax milled with this effect, right? So I'm gonna be testing this out, but replacing the Kurumis for this origami, and editing my deck. Maybe putting the -3 soul event counter. Just try out what I like. I'll probably do this first, or maybe this. Well, this is much better for certain majority of matches because you can really F up your opponent, right? But this card, the good wall, and like the stride with the 2/2 is just amazing. So we'll see. So heads up, once again, the A standby deck is going to change the most, and there will be a future in-depth deck profile coming if I so choose to change it vastly. Anyways, that's going to be a quick update on the decks that I updated with their current banners in effect. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for newly Weiss deck profiles.